All right, let's move on to 149 pounds. This is the weight class where you got Ridge Lovett, the top seed. Second seed, Kyle Parko. 3 seed, Arrington. 4 seed, Henson. And man, I've gone back and forth on this weight class a couple different times. You know, I thought it's going to be Henson. I thought Lovett. I thought Shane Van Ness, on and on. You know, he's out for the season with injury for Penn State. So this weight's gone through quite a few changes. But at the end of it all, as you look at this, you got Ridge Lovett at the top. Man, he was an NCAA finalist 2 years ago. He spent last year in redshirt, and he's been fantastic this season. And I think there's a great chance he makes the NCAA final. I think he's got a really tough semifinal opponent coming. We've seen that match before. I'll get into some of my predictions. I'll get into the early round matchups you're not going to want to miss. But I'm going to start with my NCAA champion, who I think is going to win this weight class. And I'm going to go with Austin Gomez. I know. What am I doing? What are you doing, man? He just lost. I feel like I'm alternating insanity. Like I'm going, what I saw looks good, more pragmatic, and then I'm going back and forth on it. And this one, I wanted to go out on a limb. And I don't think it's that much of a limb, but it's a little bit of a limb. It's a small branch. I'm out there. And here's how I see it going. Austin Gomez is your 6th seed. All right, Jack Crook, Gabe Willishell, or Quinn Kenner is his early matchups. Then Jackson Arrington is the 3. And I don't think that's the worst matchup for him. I think Arrington is definitely tough. He can wrestle kind of from everywhere, whereas Gomez, he just wants to win on his feet. I think Gomez will have enough of an advantage from neutral to be able to win that bout. Now, here's where it gets interesting. I have Tyler Kasak taking out Kyle Parko, the 2 seed, to make the semi, where I have Austin Gomez winning that match. I have Austin Gomez. I think at the end of the day, neutral really matters. And he's got an uncanny ability to get to legs and finish. He's got great reattacks as we've seen. He's solid upper body. And Kasak, at that point, playing a little bit with house money. But there's also the incredible track record that Penn State has in these semifinal bouts. And if it is Kyle Parko or Tyler Kasak, then, man, the track record for Penn State does make that a pretty scary matchup. I admit I'm out on a limb here. Kyle Parko is someone who beat Austin Gomez last year at NCAAs. And he's able to wrestle out of an underhook really well, Parko is. And that's where Gomez was not able to exploit or whatever, capitalize on that position because Parko feels really competent in that position. So I've got Gomez doing it. What the heck am I thinking? What am I doing? I don't know. I've got him beating Ridge Lovett in that final. That's going to be a tight one, though. We saw Austin Gomez got the first takedown, and then Ridge really responded. He got a takedown, and then he really challenged Austin upper body. And the thing that makes this most interesting is Ridge is bar none the best top wrestler at this weight class and one of the best top wrestlers in the country. Will he choose top at some point in this tournament is something I'm curious about. I'm not sure. A danger for Ridge Lovett is in the semifinal bout where he will potentially face Caleb Henson. I think it's who he will face. Go back to Cliff King, Las Vegas. Rewatch that match. It was so tight. Henson very close to a takedown of his own. Virginia Tech fans, they'll tell you it was a takedown. They'll tell you he should have won that match. I'm not going there. All I'm going to say is it was really, really close. Ridge Lovett's fantastic. Caleb Henson's fantastic. He was this close to winning ACCs before dropping a, put it mildly, controversial match to Jackson Arrington. Now I'll say this, Caleb Henson, you need to stay out of these controversial matches and win them outright, right? But at the same time, he's in them. He's right there to win them, and he's right there to beat someone like Ridge Lovett. So Ridge took a loss to Parko this year, a couple weeks back, and he really rebounded well, beating Austin Gomez. But Henson has a win over Kyle Parko. So there is some, common opponent momentum, or I don't know if momentum's a word, but data that says, hey, he can beat Ridge Lovett. But I think Ridge gets it done there. I'm kind of working my way backwards here. Ridge's path, nothing really to even discuss until that quarterfinal where I think it's going to be Casey Swiderski without a doubt, because Swiderski's going to have Matthew Williams, then maybe Ethan Fernandez, but I think Swiderski's a lot more proven than Fernandez. So I think that's who we see. And Swiderski struggles with the mat. I think he's going to have a hard time generating against Ridge Lovett. He's got crazy pace to throw at you, but at the end of it all, I don't know if he's going to be able to generate enough offense to take down Ridge Lovett. So I think that's a good matchup for Ridge Lovett. And then Ty Waters is someone that I've been talking about all year long, and now he wins Big 12. He's the 5 seed here. He's really, but Logan Joffrey's not an easy first-round matchup for Ty. Joffrey's a tough guy. Then Ethan Miller likely in that second match. Miller can go with just about everyone, and then I think he falls to Caleb Henson. But if Ty's wrestling in the semis, I'm not shocked at all. An interesting round 1 match here in the top side, and I encourage you to kind of look through the brackets as I go through these. It makes it a little easier to kind of pick up where I'm at. But Iowa's Caleb Rachi versus Oklahoma State's Jordan Williams. This was a rematch from the dual meeting that Jordan Williams won. Now, Jordan's health is now a real question because we saw him get injured at Big 12s. How healthy he's going to be is extremely important, right? And if he's not healthy, if he's not feeling great, that's going to be tough. So I have actually Rachi winning that match, setting up a match between he and Caleb Henson that I think Henson wins. So that's how I see the top side playing out. Bottom, really interesting early round matchup between Tyler Kasek and Jaden Abbas. Abbas is a past All-American for Stanford. He's had really good moments in his career. Now, he is the, let's check this, 26 seed. That's not great, and that's reflective of his season. That's an appropriate seed for Jaden based on the year he's had. So, but if for a 7 seed in Kasek and a true freshman, this is a tricky guy in Jaden Abbas. So he's got to be ready for that. And then Kasek also, it doesn't get any easier. Another Pac-12 foe potentially, Chance Lamer. He transferred from Michigan to Cal Poly. He's your 10 seed. He's been tough all year long. And for Kasek, that's no gimme match there. And of course, that quarterfinal, I already talked about him versus Parco. Coin flip, I went with an upset. You got to take some risks here in your predictions. That's one I decided to take. So yeah, that's the top side. I got Gomez over Lovett. Who knows? I have Henson getting 3rd over Kasek. I have Parco getting 5th over Waters, and I have Arrington getting 7th over Casey Swiderski. Go back to the round of 12. I've got Waters beating Chance Lamer. I have Swiderski beating Dylan D'Amelio. Parco over Ethan Miller, and Arrington over Graham Rooks. So not as loaded a round of 12 as we've seen in some other ways. When you look at like 141, 125. I think this is a little more of a set weight class with a really well-defined pecking order. So 149, taking a chance here, going with the 6th seed, Austin Gomez, Vision Quest type of deal. He's back for his, what year is this? 6th, 7th? It's hard to tell. We're 2 folk-style retirements into the Austin Gomez story. Maybe he goes out on top. That's my prediction. I wouldn't bet on it, though.